an edge. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. Now, any massive sporting event puts the host country and the organizers under pressure. It has to go off successfully and without any glitches and hurdles. The two big events that are lined up in the coming year are the T20 Cricket World Cup and the Paris Olympics. There are security threats now looming large over both these mega events. We'll tell you how. And what does the future hold for Team India's cricket captain, Rohit Sharma? There is a lot of uncertainty that fans are very anxious about, especially after all that has transpired over the last few weeks. For Rohit, the present seems to be just as tense as the future. All of that in the show today, but first let's look over to Sports 360. We'll begin with cricket news. New Zealand beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in yesterday's ODI match. Hosts Bangladesh scored 291 runs with Soumya Sarkar smashing 169. New Zealand chased down the target in the 46th over. Henry Nicholls and Will Young scored half-centuries for the Black Caps. New Zealand have taken an unassailable 2-0 lead in the three-match ODI series. Europe's top court has ruled in favour of the Super League. The court says that UEFA's control of European football is an illegal monopoly. The ruling states that requiring approval for new football competitions from FIFA and UEFA is contrary to European law. Super League is a proposed seasonal competition in Europe. The tournament aims to rival UEFA's Champions League, which is currently Europe's only top club tournament. Staying with football news, Brazil football team's doctor has given an update on striker Neymar. The doctor says that Neymar will be unfit for Copa America in July next year. After a successful knee surgery, Neymar is still in recovery mode. However, the doctor says that the recovery is taking longer than expected. Neymar is likely to be away from the field till at least August next year. In hockey, the Indian men's team defeated France 5-4. It was a thriller last night. The match was part of the Five Nations tournament. India and France went back and forth with goals, each till the final whistle. This was India's solitary win in the 4 matches that they've played so far. And the Indian Sports Ministry has confirmed the nominations for the annual awards. Men's badminton duo Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty will be conferred with the Khel Ratna this year. Ranki Reddy and Shetty became the first Indian men's pair to secure world #1 rankings in badminton. The prestigious Khel Ratna is the highest sporting award in India. The ceremony will be held on the 9th of January in India's capital, New Delhi. Now, a name that is synonymous with the Mumbai Indians franchise at the Indian Premier League is Rohit Sharma, and rightfully so. The man took up the reins of a team that was in a slump. And within years, Mumbai Indians' identity became his very own. There's only one other team that has only one man who's helmed cricket affairs for as long as he has in the IPL, and we know who that is. Mumbai Indians did send out an emotional press release just a while back saying it's just the philosophy to move on and pass on the baton to the next leader, and that is constant. And Rohit Sharma will continue to be the leader and mentor that he is. That is his legacy, and that stands. Now, why are we speaking about Rohit Sharma at this point? Because the transfer window is open again post the mini auction, and it will remain open till sometime in February, a month before the league starts next year. Fans are eager and anxious about what is to happen with their beloved Rohit Sharma, and will he choose to skip out and trade elsewhere? The franchise has been vehement in opposing that thought. No players will be traded out, they say. Some of the fans who were gathered to watch the auction proceedings in Dubai, it was a first for auctions history, actually screamed out asking Akash Ambani, owner of the franchise, to bring back Rohit Sharma, to which Akash actually responded loudly, "Don't worry, he will bat for us." A message that the franchise also tweeted out later. The Mumbai Indians held their poise and made smart, frugal buys at the auction table, nothing too fancy, and would be thrilled with whom they've added to their arsenal. Experts agree, though, that Mumbai Indians did well at the table, but it's outside the auction table where the real challenge lies. Rohit's captaincy will definitely be a big miss.
The kind of balance Rohit Sharma had, he was such a lovable character. in the squad. Like if you ask anyone, even guy like me, who's retired a few years ago, if I had a choice to play uh, in a particular captain, under a particular captain, I would have loved to play under Rohit Sharma. I would have, I played under Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and I know how amazing it was, playing under Saurav Ganguly. They were very welcoming. But when it comes to Rohit Sharma, he's such a fun-loving guy. He doesn't care, you're a senior or you're just a youngster. He has fun with everyone. And Mumbai Indians squad, Mumbai Indians players will miss that in a leader because Hardik Pandya has a different character.
But the bigger question we want to ask, what does the future hold for Rohit Sharma? Indian Premier League is but a season. Indian national team is permanent. It's all year through. So despite what has happened in the Mumbai Indians franchise, Rohit would still want to continue as the Team India captain. And that's what experts who have played under his captaincy and know him from close quarters truly believe. That he is the captain to lead India at this next T20 World Cup that is scheduled to take place in just 6 months from now.
I always say Rohit is not a captain, he is a leader. He set an example for everyone. And the way he was leading the side in the World Cup, the way he was, setting up the tone in every game. Because we have seen that India is scoring that many runs, 340, 320 on a difficult pitches. So Rohit was one of the main reason. If you see, he was giving you a flying start. So the kind of form he has shown, the kind of impact he has shown, I would definitely love to have him as a captain in the T20 World Cup.
Yes, the ODI World Cup final did not go the way it should have. India were completely outplayed and there was little Rohit Sharma, the skipper, could really do. But he has been in superb form with the bat and the team seems to rally around him. The BCCI has managed to convince coach Rahul Dravid to stick around some more and usher India right up to the T20 World Cup. Would they persist with Rohit Sharma at the helm as well? On the sidelines of the Women's Premier League auction in Mumbai, the BCCI president Jay Shah chose to steer clear of this topic, saying the World Cup was still a while away, and chose to talk about Hardik Pandya's recovery instead, that he could be fit in time for the T20s against Afghanistan, that is scheduled to take place right after the series against South Africa.
What is the need to have clarity right now? It is starting in June. We have the IPL before that and the series against Afghanistan. We are monitoring him on a day-to-day basis. He is at the NCA and working very hard. He could be fit before the Afghanistan series also. We have given the extension but are yet to finalize the contract. We did not get time at all. They finished, I had a meeting with them and we agreed mutually that they will continue. We will sit down and decide once they return from South Africa.
Yes, Hardik Pandya seems to be the golden boy of cricket at the moment, the man with the Midas touch, who won an inaugural IPL title leading the Gujarat Titans just a couple of years ago. The man touted to be India's next captain in the shorter format for sure. But just when will that switch happen is the big question that fans are all eagerly waiting for. Now, the England cricket team is currently on tour in the West Indies. They are being hosted in Trinidad and Tobago. After drubbing at the ODI World Cup in November, the series in the Caribbean is something the English team would have been looking forward to. Sure, they are there for cricket, but there's also clear blue skies, palm trees, serene beaches and sparkling water. But earlier this week, the English team were locked down. They were cooped up in their hotel rooms and they were not allowed to leave. That's because something happened on the 18th of December that left the English squad pretty shaken. The England team were put up in a prime hotel in Trinidad and Tobago's capital, Port of Spain. In the wee hours of Monday morning, England players were woken up by gunshots. Outside their hotel, a 47-year-old man bled to death from bullet wounds. The hotel was then locked down. Police officials have launched an investigation which is still underway. Meanwhile, the England team are continuing with the series. There's still one match to go, but it won't be played in Port of Spain. It was definitely a lucky escape for the cricketers, and it's assuring that they are all safe. This wasn't the first time, though, that a cricket team on tour has witnessed such an attack. Many times, cricket tournaments have been cancelled or called off due to violence. There have even been times when cricket players have been the target of these attacks. The whole world was in shock when terror attacks took place in India's Mumbai. At that time, England were on tour in India and they had to cancel their tour midway. In 2009, Sri Lanka were on tour in Pakistan when their bus was attacked by unidentified gunmen. We all remember that. At least 7 Sri Lankan players were wounded and 6 Pakistani policemen lost their lives. During the 2017 Champions Trophy in England, a bomb blast shook the streets of London. The blast happened just a few kilometers away from the venue where India were playing Pakistan at the Oval. Despite the security lapse, the tournament was allowed to carry on. Another instance of an attack on a cricket team happened when Australia were visiting India in 2017. The Aussie team's bus was hit by a rock in the Indian city of Guwahati. Thankfully, no players were injured and the attacker was arrested immediately. New Zealand saw one of its most gruesome acts of terror in 2019. A gunman opened fire in a mosque, killing many people. At that time, Bangladesh were playing in New Zealand. They had to cancel the series and return home. During England's tour of Pakistan last year, multiple gunshots were heard just a kilometre away from the hotel where the England team was put up. 4 arrests were made and England was given presidential-level security. The most recent incident England have faced is from this week in the West Indies. We already detailed that to you. But here is why this should concern you. See, if you're a cricket fan, like a lot of us, then you are waiting for the upcoming T20 World Cup in 2024. The tournament will be held in June next year. The West Indies and the US will co-host this mega event. A total of 55 matches will be played and the knockout matches will be hosted in the West Indies. Trinidad and Tobago will also host a lot of matches. But the recent gun attack in front of the hotel with the England team inside raises alarm bells. Trinidad and Tobago is ranked 6th highest in the world for crime rate. In terms of gun-related deaths per capita, Trinidad and Tobago is 11th in the world. Gun violence and drug trade is on the rise in the Caribbean island. Nations have issued travel advisories to their citizens who visit the island. Truly, this is concerning for cricket and the T20 World Cup. What doesn't help is the large chunk of the World Cup matches will also be held in America. The US has a notorious record for safety and gun violence is extremely high. Just this year, the US saw almost 600 mass shootings, the highest in the world. Gun violence numbers are not looking good for the T20 World Cup hosts. The International Cricket Council, or ICC, will have to step in to ensure that players, match officials and fans are given the security they deserve and the sense of security. Not just that, the ICC is also a little miffed about the delays in the preparation regarding certain venues. It's been a very slow progress on the various stadiums' readiness for the event. And this is a space that, of course, we will be following closely with updates. Now, if you're in charge of organizing the 2024 Paris Olympics, then you're either panicking or questioning why you took on the role in the first place. The Olympics are 6 months away and Paris has already had 2 scares this month. First came the protests. Climate activists have been up in arms about the environmental impact the Games will have. Then there was a stabbing attack which left 1 dead and 2 injured. The most recent was a bomb scare in downtown Paris, which saw the bomb squad coming in. There are calls of moving the Olympics away from Paris, but of course, it's too late for that. French President Emmanuel Macron has taken matters into his own hands. He has assured safety at the Olympics and promised that the Games will not be shifted. But he has floated the idea of holding the opening ceremony away from Paris. You know, in case French authorities can't get their security in order. It's already looking like a battle half lost. Do you think that the Paris Olympics will witness disruptions here on?
The buzz for next year's Paris Olympics is growing. Preparations are on in full swing. Organizers have even curated the menu for athletes and spectators. But December has brought with it only problems for the organizers. First, there were protests in France. Climate activists demonstrated against the Paris Olympics. They said that the game would impact the environment. To add to this, there was a climate disaster on Tahiti Island. Tahiti is located in the Pacific Ocean, thousands of kilometers away from France, but it's considered French territory. Paris organizers damaged a coral reef when they were installing a tower for the surfing event to run some checks. And the locals in Tahiti have blamed organizers for neglecting the impact on the environment. Then there was a stabbing attack in Paris. At least 1 person was killed and 2 others were injured. Authorities were questioned again. Will Paris be able to host the Olympics? The French sports minister was the first to respond. The minister assured that everything was in control and that there was no plan B for the opening ceremony. But now the government has made a U-turn. Macron is saying that there is most definitely a plan B.
You also have to plan everything. If you have a rise in international or regional tensions, if you have a series of attacks, unfortunately, our country has had to experience it. Let's imagine that this ceremony.
You are imagining the worst scenario?
Of course, but that's what a plan B is. You are in November 2015. You're 2 weeks ahead of the Olympic Games. You have a series of terrorist attacks. What do? But you know, common sense helps. We must go into impossible scenarios. Say, we can no longer organize anything. No, France is a great country.
So how is France planning to safeguard Paris? Over 30,000 police personnel have been deployed. In addition, private security firms have been hired. Despite the increasing security, officials are worried. There has been an uptick in attacks and protests in Paris. The last thing the Olympics organizers will want is a disruption. Holding the opening ceremony at a different location is on the cards. Political opinion is divided, with Russian and Belarusian athletes participating at the Games, even if they are neutrals. The Israel-Hamas war has further created a divide. France has a lot of ground to cover if they're serious about hosting the biggest celebration of sporting excellence.
Now, it has been just over a year since Lionel Messi and Argentina won the Football World Cup. The Latin American nation is still basking in the glory of that win. A 30-meter tall mural of Messi was unveiled in Buenos Aires. Today's Last Serve shows you Argentina's love for the legend that is Messi. Stunning pictures but that's all from us here at First Sports. Thanks so much for watching us. We'll of course join you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.